Hey, come see us on tour. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Supreme Court rejects censorship lawsuit. So they had a lawsuit. Yes. That, well, here it is. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in Murphy versus Missouri that the plaintiffs, including social media users and 2 states, lack standing to sue the federal government over allegations of pressuring social media companies to censor content during the COVID-19 pandemic and the 2020 election. So the reason what they did was they said, oh, you don't have standing. So they didn't actually try the case or hear the merits of the case. They said the people who were bringing this case about being censored, they didn't have any injury from being censored that they could prove, so they couldn't sue. That's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, again, I'm a C student, but that's what I took away from this.
You can't censor, that's not a defamation lawsuit, that's a censorship thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're saying
that's how defamation works.
But they're saying that, yes, I agree. So let's go back to this. It says, pressuring social media companies to censor content during the COVID-19 pandemic and the 2020 election. Justices Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch dissented, only 3.
Yeah.
Arguing that you would think it'd be a lot more. It's supposed to be a right-wing court.
What? Yeah, what? Oh, the one who doesn't know what a woman is? How'd she vote? Let me guess.
Let me guess. Arguing that the case was one of the most significant free speech issues to reach the court in years. So those 3 justices said it was the most significant free speech case to reach the court in years, and criticized the majority for sidestepping the issue. That's what they did. They sidestepped the issue. The decision was based on the plaintiffs' inability to prove they were directly harmed by the government's actions, despite evidence of government officials pressuring social media platforms to remove what they deemed as misinformation. So now I've seen lots of...
Wait, who's the one who they had that whole big kerfuffle over with that bullshit thing that he had a party? Remember?
I think that's Alito.
No, it's not Alito. It's
I had a party. You mean I thought the flag upside down?
No. That's hilarious. No, the one where that chick came out and said, "Well, we were at a party, and then he jumped on me, and then a friend."
Oh, that was yeah.
I thought something.
Oh, that guy went against this too.
Yeah, wow. So that guy went on the side of the shit-lib
establishment.
Well, you almost threw him away.
Wow.
Fucks.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, you're telling
What's
me
his dumb name?
What you're telling? It's like Irish or something. What is that guy's? He was the last white male put on the Supreme Court. What's his name, Misha? Can you look it up? Are you telling me, Kurt, that our social media platform is actually working for the powerful elites to control the population and their thoughts and opinions?
Why are you saying that, Jimmy? Just because DARPA invented this?
What? You mean the internet?
The whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah. When are people going to realize that an actual line on a safari is not cute and adorable?
Kavanaugh.
Oh, Kavanaugh.
Fuck you, Kavanaugh. I hope they do protest at your house.
Wow. Turns out that the same people who created LSD to control humanity accidentally freed them up again briefly before they made the thing they invented illegal. So here, let's look at some. Charlie Kirk says this 6-3 Supreme Court ruling backing the Biden administration's coercion of social media companies effectively means the government can censor Americans' constitutionally protected speech so long as they outsource it to a third party. Unbelievable. Alito's dissent is spot on. This is Alito's dissent. We should have had Matt Taibbi on today. I wonder if he'll still come on our show. That is regrettable. This is what Alito said. What the officials did in this case was more subtle than the ham-handed censorship found to be unconstitutional in Vulo, but it was no less coercive. And because of the perpetrators' high positions, it was even more dangerous. It was blatantly unconstitutional, and the country may come to regret the court's failure to say so. It was on. So they just won't hear this case, because if they hear this case, they'll have to say what the government was doing was unconstitutional, because it is.
I like that they can outsource it to a third party, which is how we do our psyops and make our COVIDs.
Yes. Here, back to this. If a coercive campaign is carried out with enough sophistication, it may get by.
Or not that much.
That is, or not. That is not a message the court should be sending.
Well, we've received it a long time ago, so you're good on that.
Here's what Simon Ateba, a friend of the show, he said: outraged Justice Samuel Alito explodes after. So that sounds like a porn. Explodes after Supreme Court dismisses case against Biden's White House, pressuring social media companies to censor what they deem disinformation during COVID and the 2020 election. Says America might regret the decision, says White House pressure cannot be dismissed as mere persuasion. In dissenting, Justice Alito was joined by Thomas and Gorsuch. And here's some more of... So Simon Ateba says, note, Justice Alito expressed significant concern about the extent of government influence on social media platforms, emphasizing that the interactions went beyond mere encouragement and ventured into coercion. The government's pressure tactics, which included threats of adverse regulatory action, cannot be dismissed as mere persuasion. So the government...
We call it a nudge over at BlackRock.
So, yeah. So right now... social media companies can't be sued. So if you're censoring, that makes you a publisher. Now, when someone sues somebody for slander or libel in a book, they sue the publisher because that's who's got the money. They don't sue the library. They don't sue the bookstore. They sue the person who wrote it and the publisher. So there's a special carve-out for social media companies that allow them to be seen as the bookstore, even though they're publishers. Because when you're censoring, you're publishers. So it's called Section 220.
Yeah, right. Trump threatened to take that away from them.
What he's saying here, Alito, is that the government is threatening to take that protection away from them if they don't censor the way the government wants.
Right.
And that's the world you're living in. And that's the world that Democrats are all for. And turns out lots of Republicans on the Supreme Court, too. Turns out the establishment's for it.
It turns out it's a lot more corruption than you thought, all the way up, and not in the ally. Like, that's why you're dumb to take a side of Republican or Democrat, because their majority are all against you.
They're against you. So, did I read the part? Yeah. So here's the next note. The dissent argued that the majority so Gorsuch, Thomas, and Alito argued that the majority mischaracterized the plaintiff's standing, asserting that the connection between government actions and social media censorship was sufficiently established. The majority's demand for concrete evidence of causation in each instance of censorship overlooks the broader pattern of government pressure and its chilling effect on free speech. So these motherfuckers at the Supreme Court were saying there wasn't concrete... that's what the Twitter files were. That exposed this whole thing.
I called it a nothing burger, Jimmy, as you...
Yeah, right.
The thing we all say in the media because we're not idiots. It's a nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
Note, the dissent, meaning Gorsuch, Thomas, and Alito, emphasized the potential chilling effect of government actions on free speech, warning that the ruling could embolden future government's efforts to suppress dissenting views. Quote, this ruling effectively grants the government a free pass to continue its campaign of suppression, threatening the foundational principles of free expression. Okay, let's... Note, Justice Alito argued that judicial intervention is necessary to prevent further government overreach in influencing social media moderation policies. Quote, judicial oversight is imperative to safeguard against the encroachment of government on the marketplace of ideas.
Hey, how much you want to bet word came down from the inner agency?
Yep, from the seat. Yeah. So here's a little bit more. The dissent highlighted ongoing evidence of government influence over social media platforms, pointing to continued communications and pressure tactics. The record is replete with instances of continued government engagement with social media companies, underscoring the persistent nature of their coercion. So so the 6 justices are saying there isn't enough evidence that this is happening. Are they really saying that?
They're doing the thing that every media outlet would do. Like, it's not censorship if a corporation does it. A business can do what they want, except if they're not doing what I want, and then the government should tell them to.
So Simon Atiba says, I'm surprised some people on social media have not yet paid attention to what just happened.
Why would you be surprised?
The Supreme Court made a horrible decision today. The White House can pressure Twitter to take down some content, deeming it false or disinformation, under the threat of taking away their protection from being sued. That's the thing people miss. It's not just White House pressuring, it's White House threatening that if you don't do this, we're going to take away your protection, and then your social media company is going to get sued, and you're going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, what do you think that all these little tech jerk offs, you don't think they have to go to Bilderberg and come filing in and they go, are you doing the thing? And they have to all pay tribute and then promise to do some shit they don't want to do? Like that dipshit Jack from Twitter?
Boy, that guy Jack really gets away with pretending he's a dipshit. Yeah, I don't know anything. I didn't know. I
think he's very well threatened, and I think that Indian bro with him was his minder at Rogan.
Oh,
okay, 100%. You could tell how he was like kind of resented it, and he was telling, yeah, Elon, you should buy this because it's not cool what they did. Like you could see the whole situation. He's on charge of shit. These are all things that came out of DARPA that I don't even believe these guys even came up with the initial ideas anymore beyond the stupid names. Like Facebook, that was a DARPA project called, we had Whitney Webb on talking about it, right?
Yeah.
LifeLog. And then they canceled LifeLog the day Facebook came out. Meanwhile, that creep from Facebook, I'm watching him give speeches like, well, I was human once. And I was always a human. That's a real quote. You saw that?
No.
He literally, I'm sure it's just a slip of the tongue.
Hey, let me just say, you work hard to support your family, but it may seem as though you are taking a step back every month instead of taking a step forward. When the bills are higher than what you bring in every month, you have to swipe that credit card to cover the difference, right? And the debt keeps adding up. But if you own a home, our friends over at American Financing can help you break free from that cycle. American Financing is saving people like you an average of $854 a month. Think about what you could do with that extra $854 a month and not having to worry about those minimum monthly payments. And even better, it costs nothing to find out how much you can save. All it takes is a quick call to American Financing, and if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing today and start your journey towards being credit card and debt-free. That's 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Jimmy. AmericanFinancing.net/Jimmy. Hey, come see us on tour. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.